Hey, how are you today, everybody? Just wanted to shoot another video, kind of extend on the toxic people video. Um, this is more like toxic relationships, um, and being more aware of the toxic relationship. And I'm going to share to you my experiences with toxic relationship and my experience being a toxic person in a relationship. We'll start off with that. Now, you can blame toxicity in people on, mental issues and things that happened in the past and all that stuff too, right? You lose trust in people. You lose humanity, basically. And, you're being toxic. You just hurt that person by saying that stupid thing you just said. But in your mind, because you can't be wrong, right? Today's, like I said in the other video, today's society depicts what we do, what we say, how we live our lives. And sometimes it's not healthy, right? The whole thing about society now is get before you get got. You know what I mean? Go into every situation with your guard up because you don't want to get screwed over. Yeah, that's not a healthy way to live either, right? So I've done that. I've done that with my wife. Name calling, all that kind of stuff. Just try to make people feel less than you. I got my little buddy there coming down with us, Willie Nelson. So, and I've been in toxic relationships as well, where, you're never right, and your feelings don't count. I mean, I know that I've been there. I've been that guy, and I've been with that girl. It's tough, you know what I mean, to deal with toxic relationship. But again, we invest time, we invest our emotions, and that's the thing. Like, damn, this was all a waste of time. I put 5 years in, and it's a waste of time, or however time you put into the relationship. And the relationship could easily been non-toxic, but it takes two, right? It takes two people to work at it. I mean, relationships are work. And I find nowadays in relationship, married people especially, one person's always got to be better than the other, There's always the one-up crowd, And it's wrong. But dealing with a toxic relationship, okay? There's a couple ways, okay? And one of the ways is what I just said. You got to leave the person, or communicate. And I remember saying in the last video, communication is the key to any relationship, whether it's a working relationship, a friendship, and especially, being in love with somebody. And some of the relationships that I've seen, that word love has just been thrown around to, it almost becomes something you have to say instead of feeling that. You know what I mean? So communication, as hard as it is to do, and I know it's hard because I've been the non-communicator. So I have this, I don't know what you'd call it, an analogy of some sort, or an easy way to look at it, a better way to look at it. So I have a coping method, or not, it's not even a coping method. It's a strategy that I've used. I mean, it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? So I call it the tube of communication, right? So I got a prop here to show you. So this water bottle I cut in the both ends, right? So it's a tube. So we've all been through this. We've all been at a party, and this goes both ways. Okay, so I'm not basing this on gender at all, but this goes both ways. So a man or a woman does something at a party, or says something, or has drank too much, and is starting to act like a fool. This guy right here, and you see your spouse, your girlfriend, or your wife, and you say, you know, they're not talking to you, they're kind of giving you the silent treatment, and you're like, well, what's the problem? And most times people will say nothing, right? So when that happens, you kink in the tube a little bit, right? So then you say, no, what did I do wrong? What's going on? Why are you so mad? Kink in the tube again. And then you know, they're saying nothing. Figure it out. Think about it. Crack in the tube. And every time you do that, the tube of communication gets blocked up. Then there's no communication at all, because anger sets in. And anger causes people sometimes to not want to talk about things. So once you close off the tube, again, you're spending, what, 2-3 days trying to get back to be friends with that person. And it's not healthy. So what I do now, and what I've been doing for the last few years, is when I have a problem with my wife, wherever we are, or if she has a problem with me, because it goes both ways, and you know, I'll give you an example. I was acting like a fool, and I upset my wife. So she pulled me to the side, and she said, what you did, and she explained to me what I did. She goes, that upset me, but we'll talk about it later, because this isn't a place to talk about it. And that's very important. You should not air your business out or your arguments in front of people. I shouldn't. We all shouldn't. It's just, it makes other people uncomfortable, and it makes you look kind of like a dick, right? So later on, we went and we discussed what happened calmly, and it works out. And the thing is, too, I know I've done this in the past, where I'm explaining what they've done to me, and then all of a sudden you kind of put an extra couple nails in the board by making up some other stuff. You know what I mean? Or you don't really tell the truth on how that made you feel. um, because you just wanted to be angry for some reason. The truth, be honest, explain yourself, and that does take the toxicity out of relationship. Like I said before, I put my wife through hell, but this woman, the only thing good and pure in my life is her. And I honestly couldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for her. Now, am I saying that we should all find somebody like that? No. Because picking someone to love isn't like something you can do on Amazon. I mean, yeah, they have apps for dating and stuff like that, but I've only heard nightmares about them. I've heard some good stuff too, but it all depends on the type of people, right? So that works with your friends, works with your parents, and also they have to want to communicate back. You can't be the only communicator, because, I mean, look at a radio. You have a transmitter and you have a receiver. You transmit your feelings, and they have to receive that. And they should take it seriously, because that's how you feel. Minimization. Minimization in a relationship is very toxic. I'll give you an example. Again, upset somebody, and they felt bad. They felt hurt. So they explain it to you calmly, and they do the whole thing. And the minimization is, oh, it wasn't that bad. You're making a big deal out of nothing. So you're not in that skin. You don't know how that makes that person feel. But yet, so you don't want to feel smaller than you actually are. And you still end up feeling that way just because you said some things that weren't true or some things you didn't know. It's like a Band-Aid. It don't make you feel good for long. You still got to change it, and the cut is still there. And again, you have to spend more time trying to be friends again, or trying to get back to where you were, to where you had that good thing. And I'll tell you right now, every single time you do it, as soon as you put the puzzle back together, there's always a few pieces missing. Because we didn't listen, and we minimized how they felt just to try to make ourselves feel better. Huge problem in this world today is nobody could admit they're wrong. Nobody. Well, not nobody, but it seems to be the thing. No, I'm not wrong. No, what are you talking about? Admit you're wrong when you're wrong. If you really love that person, you want to be with that person for the rest of your life, be truthful, be honest, explain yourself. We're not mind readers. Well, not all of us are. But it's a really tough thing, and it takes some work. That tube of communication, it's going to take some work. It's not going to happen overnight. But willingness to communicate, it shows progress. And every time we show progress, we move a step forward in our lives. I'm going to cut this one down. I love all of you. God bless. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share, because it really helps me out when you hit the like button. It really helps us out. It really helps the channel. So I want to be able to provide more of these videos for people, just sharing my experiences. Now, if it's not your experience, you don't have to listen. if you want to listen to it. But if you want to listen to it, I'm just going to share my experiences and hope that it helps you. That being said, I love you. God bless. Have a great day.